Hello and welcome to Everyday Stories on Our Homestead. I'm Scott Westhoff. I'm a father of 8, married to the most beautiful Tamara and patient Tamara in the whole wide world. And I am so excited today. We're going to talk about some qualities of successful homesteaders. So, in order to generate qualities of successful homesteaders, first we got to find out what we want. And one of those qualities is leadership. And in order to preside or to lead in a good way, we need to be having board of director meetings. We call them masterminds. I have a group that I call my fellow warriors. Now, I have different masterminds for different things, but I have fellow warriors that have really helped me get through addiction and helping me figure out how to get in touch with other people and develop the skills and the ability to defeat my addiction. I've also got a brother who's really good with finances and with entrepreneurship. So I work with him. And I have a list here of 12 people. Only one of them is living, but 12 people that I consider my ultimate board of directors. Now, it's okay to have a board of directors that you know about and that you can sit down and study and learn from and embody the characteristics that they have. So the first one, I've got a list of my top 12 currently. This list can change. But I'm going to tell you about how you can sit down with these people because you've learned so much about them. You can spend time just having a board of directors meeting, all of you sitting around a table about all the different people, and you are the director of this board of directors, and you have a meeting. For me, I've got a top 12 list. First is my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I'm very religious. I want to know what He wants me to do, and I want to do His will because He knows a whole lot better than I do. And I've got a document called Christ-like Attributes from Preach My Gospel. And I study His attributes and want to embody those in myself. For me, He's number one on my list. Then these don't come in a really specific order just after that. Second, I've got Napoleon Hill. He wrote Think and Grow Rich. He was actually really good at always giving more than he received. That's the quality I want from him. Russell Brunson, I'm obviously a big fan. He pursues his passion. He helps people despite the fact that it doesn't have to. And that's what I want to get from him. It's just this pursuit of passion and helping people no matter what my situation is. Then I've got Dale Carnegie. He was a wonderful teacher. I read his book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. He wrote How to Influence People. He wrote some really, really good books. He was an awesome author and teacher. That's what I want to get from Dale Carnegie. My next one is Elsie Lincoln Benedict. Just found out about her, 8 months ago. And Elsie, she wrote a couple of books, but she was really good at public speaking. That was like her superpower. And she created courses from what she taught. She first was a consultant, and she helped people, and then she started public speaking and really getting her message out there. It was during the women's suffrage movement. She really helped push that movement along and get rights for women back when they didn't have the option to vote. Wonderful, wonderful person. She wrote a book called Brainology. Actually, she did lectures all over the place, all over the world. And she wrote little booklets. Actually, her husband wrote the booklets, and they went along with her lectures, and the people were able to get the booklet, carry it in their pocket, and refer to it and really internalize what she was teaching. So I only get public speaking from her. Then there's my dad. He passed away in 2005. He was really patient with my mom. Really patient and showed a lot of love despite the hardships that they were going through together. So my dad's on my board of directors. I know him well. I want to know him better and to embody his love and patience and and just ability to really put the right things on the top of his list. Then Thomas Edison, he was an example of perseverance. He just kept trying. Nothing stopped him. And he just kept inventing and doing things. He was a genius. Even though he had hardly any education in some terms, he had a lot of education in how to get things done and how to take thousands of steps with maybe little results to get to big results like the light bulb. That was his most famous invention, but definitely not the genius, the overall genius of the man. The next one is P.T. Barnum. He was actually The Greatest Showman, or a movie about him, and he was an awesome entrepreneur. He knew how to find a target audience and develop a product to help that audience. He was really good at market first marketing. He didn't just throw out something and decide and find out what stuck. He found out who his customer was, and he provided them something for entertainment that they would enjoy. Something that was completely out of the box. Nobody ever thought about it. He created a new life for a lot of people. The next one on my list is Gordon B. Hinckley. He's really, really positive. I just really love how positive he was. He said things like, everything works out. And everything eventually does. And I love that. Then there was Richard G. Scott. I put him on my list because he's got a really good last name, Scott. That's why I was really interested in him in the first place. But when I was suffering really badly with my addiction as an adolescent, I didn't know. I didn't have answers. And I was praying for answers. And one day I went to a conference and he was looking at the camera, answered my question, word for word. I had prayed for this answer, and he looked straight at the camera, not what everybody did, and he said the answer that I had been praying for. I wanted to know if what I was doing was wrong, and I just didn't have the right information. And he looked right at the camera and said, "That's a sin," and told us how to expunge it from our lives. Still working on it, but I just love how direct and helpful he was. I got to shake his hand a couple of times while he was still on this side of the veil, on this earth, and he was very direct with me. One time I shook his hand, I just said, "Thank you." And he said, "Thank you." And he started telling everybody. There was a huge audience. We were all coming down and shaking his hand, and he was sincere. He was sincere about his thanking me and thanking everyone for taking the time, for learning and growing. I remember he said, "You don't know what to do? Get on my coattails. Follow me until you know what you got to do." He was a window to Savior Jesus Christ. And that's what I want to be. I want people to see my Jesus by looking through me. I can be an example of goodness. Then there's somebody from the ancient Americas. His name was Catherine Moroni. He put first things first. He considered the liberty of his people to be more important than his own life. And he really shared that message with others and motivated people to protect what was really important. The last one on my list is Russell M. Nelson. He's actually living. Russell Brunson's living, and also Russell M. Nelson. And he just wants to put God's will above anything else. And that's what he does. That's what I want to get from him. So I study about these people. I have board director meetings where I just sit down and we have a conversation based on what I know about them. And it becomes something awesome. He actually, in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he talks about masterminds and the importance of them and how they can help. I highly recommend you get the book. I'll give you a resource to study more about Think and Grow Rich. It's an awesome book club that you can go through. We've already gone through the discussion, but you can go through and get all the lessons and read through the material and get even more help. I have created a list of 101 reasons why I'm on this planet. That was a huge clarifying exercise for me. It helped me see what my purpose is and to actually get a purpose and go for my passion. Like I said with Russell Brunson, he goes for his passion despite the fact he doesn't have to. All right, create a great day. Thanks for joining me on Everyday Stories on our homestead. I will see you later. Oh, and I'm going to continue this series. This series is all about qualities of a successful homesteader. So today I talked about leadership and having a mastermind. Next, I'm going to be talking about another quality of successful homesteaders, and that's providing. Join me for the next one. Create a great day.